Hi, we're going to make another purse today. We're going to try and work out a few more little kinks in it. And we're going to use myrtle wood, and I have some leather. So we're going to line the inside of it with leather and see if we can't get a little closer to a finished product. And I had a few questions I'm going to try and answer here real quick. All right, I had a question about how the pulley system on the lathe works. So basically, these pulleys here, this one actually moves, slides back and forth. So when you turn the handle out here, you turn it this way, and it opens the pulley system up and slows the lathe down. Turn it the other way, and you see it pushing it in, and that speeds it up. That's basically it. That's how it works. So somebody wanted to know how I was changing speed so fast. That's it right there. So, okay, I had one other question too about the inserts. This is my Novichok, and I just took the jaws off of it to put the coal chuck on it. But I had a question about the inserts that go in. This is a spur center, and this is a screw chuck. They both just slide right in there. With or without the jaws on it, you don't have to take the jaws off to use these. They'll fit right in there, and they will. This is a little hard with not being on there, but it actually will tighten right down on them. So you can put that one into for making bowls or something, or put this one on for doing spindle work. And I had to buy those separately. They didn't come with the chuck. So, and I think I did the needle case. I did too a while back. I just opened them up, and I had the jaws on it. I just slid the dowel right inside of it and used the inside of these actually to come in and clamp it down, and that's how I screwed out the inside of it. So if you have something round that you're working with too, you can slide it right in there and then clamp the jaws down and tighten it, and it goes down to, you see that, just pretty fine little point. So you can use it for whatever you need. But I think Cindy had a question about these, so, and I picked those up by, I think, at Woodcraft. I got both those. All right, and then somebody sent me a message too about the waste blocks. He was using a softwood like pine or fir. I've used those for years too. He said it broke on him and went flying across the shop, so he wanted to mention that probably a hardwood would be better. Yes, it would, but be careful too, because I've had those break too. But for gluing up, if you have hardwood to spare, will work out perfect. And just be careful on the softer woods, because it'll break easier, and your piece will go flying. So, all right, I cut two circles here out of myrtle wood, and I mentioned the mirror on the last video, but then I never showed it to you. So look at that. All right. This is out of myrtle wood, and I just had these, and I was talking about putting them in the purses, but I made this smaller than the last one. I just wanted to work some more of the bugs out before I waste too much wood. But I'm going to use leather this time, and I'm going to turn a groove into it. A couple people had mentioned that instead of recessing it and putting the material on something, to just turn a small groove in it and then tuck the material in all the way around and leave it so it was together. So cut two circles, and then when you come down here, leave the material together. So it would come around and meet back up here like an hourglass shape, so it would cover up the hinge. And I'm going to put the hinge on the inside this time. So we're going to try that, and we're going to try and tuck it in and see how that works, and then leave a small piece here. The only thing I was concerned about was when you go to close it, I need that material here to be able to go somewhere. So that was the only thing I was still trying to work out. But let's go ahead, and I'm just going to turn these up real quick, and then we're going to get to the installation of the leather. So I'll come back in a little bit to just kind of show you how I do the groove, but I'm going to just turn them up real quick. All right, and then what I'm going to do is take my, there it is, just my parting tool here, and then just come in just under this lip so that when it'll wrap around, be all wood, and then just the transition will go right into the leather. There we go, and I think that's enough. Maybe a little bit more. All right, and then I was thinking about it. I'm not going to sand it up with the oil because I don't want it bleeding into the leather or whatever material you're going to use. Don't use the mineral oil. It will bleed into it. If you try and put it on too fast, you have to let it set for quite a while before it won't bleed in. So I'm just going to go ahead and sand it up dry and turn the dust collector on. All right, I have the other one all done. I'm just going to go ahead and put the groove in. I was messing around with the leather on this one while the hot glue was heating up, and it's too wide. Next one I'll have to make a smaller little parting tool. I would like to be able to stuff it down instead of just sitting. So I'm gonna have to put like a bead of glue in there. I'm gonna glue in here too, but a bead of glue in, and then just kind of set it in there and let it dry. I guess it doesn't fit tight enough. So there's one little thing we'll improve on the next one. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put the groove in, but next time we'll make a little smaller parting tool. There we go. Now I'm just going to go ahead and sand it up and turn the dust collector back on. And I'll be back. We'll put it in the coal john and finish the bottoms of it. Then we'll assemble it. All right, just finishing up with 600. And we'll go ahead and part it off and put it in the coal chuck. And clean up the other side. And then you can kind of see, there we go. See that little lip that we'll tuck it into. It rolls over nice. It's just not quite tight enough. So I'd like to maybe cut the width of that down by a quarter, or maybe half even. So kind of poke it in there. So I'm just gonna part this off real quick. All right. And the hinges I had last time too. I'm not sure if you can see that, but they just kind of, they're sloppy. They flop around. So I stopped by Woodcraft and picked up some precision hinges. They're spendy, but I'm only using one for each purse, so that it works out to about $12 a piece. They were having a big sale yesterday, so I got them for I think $18. But they're a lot tighter. There's really no play in them, and apparently California is the only state that thinks they cause cancer. Apparently, I don't know. I'm not eating them, so I think I'll be all right. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I'm not going to flatten the bottom off on this one this time. I just want to see what it, if it'll stand up on its own or what it does. But anyway, so I'm just going to cut a groove out and mount the hinges in it. All right, I couldn't use the other hinges. They stuck out here too far. The lip on it needs to be bigger. No matter what, if you're going to use those other hinges, see how these, I don't know, it's not bad, but it wobbles a little bit. But if you're going to use the other hinges, it definitely, I had to run and get some narrow ones. The other ones, this lip needs to come out more. I had to drill down there, and I was just messing around with it because I couldn't get it to fit right. These ones are all right, but in order to hide the hinge, to get rid of it, you need this lip to come in another, quarter of an inch or something, so when you cut it out with your chisel, you can leave a little bit of wood on the outside there to hide it. So I'm just going to put the leather in this to see how that part of it works. But I'm just going to put the leather in it to see how that part of it works. It's basically, you know, too small anyway, but I just wanted to try that part of it out. So all right, so I cut the leather like a little hourglass shape, but I need to have some way to pleat the material down here so that it folds in every time, and I'm not quite sure how to do that. So because when you close it, it keeps catching the material no matter what I was doing, it was catching it. So I was just trying like a dry run before I put the glue on it, and I can't get that to fold inside. But so I'm just going to cut circles and tuck it in. But I just have a little dental tool, and it actually makes a nice clean little transition there. You just tuck it into that little groove. I wish the groove was a little thinner so it held it a little bit better, but I think with the glue it will work out just fine. So it makes a, can you see that? Nice clean little transition there. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut those into circles and then put it in. Just using an X-Acto knife, just going around so there's not too much left over. Just be careful not to cut into the wood. And don't cut it too short. There we go. And with the leather, if you do cut it a little bit shorter, you can just stretch it. It stretches fairly easily. So there I have it all tucked in. It went in actually pretty easy. And the glue will set up in there. But I'm just going to go ahead, and I like that. I like that how it just transitioned. But the lip just needs to be a little bit bigger. And I like that transition. It's nice and clean. Just gives it that finished look. I'll go ahead and do the other side real quick, and then I'll show you the whole thing. It's kind of awkward to work with it like this. I would definitely do this prior, before putting the hinge on, so you can lay it down flat. Didn't think about that, but we'll do that on the next one. It is kind of nice though, the leather stretches, so you can just kind of cut it close and you can cinch it up, pull it up. Just try not to cut the wood. All right, I like the way it tucked in. It's nice and clean. I like the way that finishes it off. I didn't put a finish or anything on the wood. It's just another test. I'll let my daughter play with it. But I like that. It's nice and clean. And on the next one, we'll definitely, you know, just bring the hinge in. And I don't mind that you can see the hinge on the inside. The other hinges are much nicer than this, so I think it'll still look good. And then you sew your pockets before you cut your diameter here, and then that way you can actually make the diameter a little bit bigger, sew your pocket on it, so you put stuff on each side. But all right, just a few more adjustments on the design, and I think we have a finished piece. Maybe on the next one we'll get everything worked out. But I like that transition. It's clean. It takes care of the edge, everything. It's nice. I like that. All right. All right. There we go. Well, we're getting closer. Maybe the next one. But thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.